Speaking of Obama, Brian, throw this on the switcher. Social media is having the greatest time with the portraits of Barack Hussein O and Michelle Mybelle O. And I just want to show you one example. The Obama portrait, interestingly, is getting more heat than the Michelle portrait because of the what is it factor. What is the point? What are these two trying to do? Now, it's obvious these two portraits are going to not look like any other portrait anywhere, and that's probably one of the objectives. But I think there are other components here. What we've just flashed up on the Ditto Cam is one of sample of many satires and parodies of the portrait that are out there on social media. And this one, over 2/3 of the Obama portrait is obscured by the American flag, which is encroaching on it from the left, and it is in the process of eliminating Obama from his own portrait. Standing in front of the flag is Donald Trump as an exterminator. And he is spraying pesticides on the Obama portrait. And this is done to create the impression that America is getting rid of pests and that Trump is the guy doing it. And it works because Obama's sitting there on this chair. And by the way, everybody now says he looks like he's sitting on the toilet. I didn't want to say that yesterday. I have a modicum of respect for the orifice. I didn't want to say that, but it's all over every place now that Obama looks. Why would he do it? He's also got 6 fingers on his left hand, and I pointed out how gigantic these hands are. Look how long those fingers are, and you know why that is. Well, of course you know why that is. That is the artiste responding to the rumors that Trump has tiny hands. And when you have tiny hands, it means that you have a tiny member. For those of you in Rio Linda, ask your parents. And so what they're trying to do here is say that Obama's got one hell of a package and Trump doesn't. That's what the size of those hands is supposed to mean by that artist. He's sitting there, as some people say, that portrait is Obama telling the world that he smoked weed while at the Ivy League. The artist says, no. That's simply President Obama surrounded by native growth from places he has lived and where he was born. Hawaii, Chicago, the Ivy on Wrigley Field, and then, of course, Kenya, with some stuff there. But if you look at the right hand, as you're looking at the picture, Obama's right leg is sitting there as his left leg. Look at the leaves, the ivy, whatever it is, covering up his ankle and shoe. It I don't know, doesn't work. And then we found out that this artist has an identity. Did you know this, Dawn? This artist, I'm not making this up, this artist's identity, what he's known for is painting pictures, portraits of African-American women holding beheaded scalps of white women. That's what he is, quote unquote, known for. And we had a caller yesterday that had mentioned this. I said, well, fascinating here. But that's who was chosen. And it's there. Yeah, there's the real portrait. Put the real portrait up there, Brian. We put the real portrait in the switcher. For those of you watching a Ditto Cam, there's the real portrait. He's got on his left hand, by the way, he's got a fifth finger. He's got an extra ring finger, and his little finger, you can't quite see it, but there's an extra finger on that left hand. Is big, really big. I mean, it's so big you need an extra finger in there on the hand. No tie, sitting in ways that women now complain as what is it, manspreading, right? I get that confused with mansplaining. Manspreading. Now, throw up the pesticide satire version, and that's just one of many examples going Okay, time now to go back to the Ditto-Cam. I've been waiting for the correct time. We have the pictures. I'm sorry, the portraiture of Kehinde Wiley and two of his greatest works before the official unveiling of the portrait of Obama in the Ivy yesterday. Now, I mentioned to you that Kehinde Wiley is known for, he has a style, folks. And it features black women, African-American women, holding the heads of beheaded white women, holding the hair. And we're going to flash a couple of them here on the Ditto-Cam. Here's the first one. Now, again, you notice, if for those of you watching on the Ditto-Cam, notice all the floral activity going on behind that woman. Well, you have to look here to the left side. Follow that model's left arm all the way out, and you will see in her hand is the beheaded head of a white woman. And this is a portrait. I don't know who the woman is, either of the women. I don't know who the beheaded babe was, and I don't know who the African-American babe in the painting is. But this woman's standing, in a bunch of flowers, like Obama's throne is sitting in a bunch of flowers. There's one more that's easier to see. Still has a floral background, but it's not as busy, so this work of art is easier to see. There again, an angry African-American woman, gallantly, defiantly, holding the head of a beheaded white woman. Now, we had a call from an art expert who said that this kind of work was on display at Kansas City, that they'd seen it. I'm by no means equipped to analyze this. All I can tell you is that just like that Andre Serrano Piss Christ piece of art, this is heralded as great. Okay. Yeah, I'm not being profane. There's actually a work of art that goes back to the 90s by a photographer. Well, yeah, photographer. Andre Serrano. And he submerged a crucifix in a jar of urine and called it Piss Christ. And it was on display in New York museums, and it was heralded as one of the greatest interpretive pieces of art ever. And it was just junk. But we were told we didn't have the sophistication to understand what the artiste was trying to say. And I guess the same thing here. I don't have sophistication to understand what is the social message that is in I see the artist's anger. I guess there'd be some anger if you're beheading people and drawing pictures of it. Anyway, that's the artiste who painted the Obama portrait.